What's up, YouTube? It is Jeff Tuffner here on the Glorious Podcast with my Monday Night Raw review for the September 4th, 2017 edition on a very just not awkward. I don't know what word to use to describe Raw. Let me just say it. It was boring. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was a boring episode of Raw, to be honest with you. I thought I was alone in hating this show. I felt like people were actually enjoying it a little bit, and I was just like, I felt like the odd man out, like, why am I not enjoying it? You know what I mean? But then actually it seems like a lot of people weren't into it tonight. It just felt so, I don't know, like bland or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word to say, like boring, just nothing really happened. It was just like another episode of Raw went by, you know what I mean? It's like not one I'm going to remember. It's just on to next week, you know what I mean? Nothing happens. It's going to make this show memorable. I mean, yeah, we had the Big Show, and Braun Strowman had a steel cage match, and Strowman put, Big Show through the cage at the end to close out the show. But we all saw that coming. I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away. It was the most predictable thing I've ever seen. So I wasn't surprised one bit at that happening at the end of the show. But, just the rest of the show overall, I didn't care. Like, it kind of just wanted to go to sleep in a way, to be honest with you. I didn't really give a shit to really what was happening. I mean, there was some stuff I was looking forward to that, really didn't, turn out to be anything interesting. But let's get into the show here and kind of break it down a little bit. So the show opens with a match. When was the last time the show opened with a match? There was no 15-minute promo, no promo or anything. Cena comes out, ready for a match right away. Nobody's wasting time. Anyway, he has a match with Jason Jordan. So Jason Jordan's getting matches with all these top stars and all. I mean, he just had a match with Finn Balor a few weeks back. Gets a match with John Cena here, which ended up being a pretty good match. I'm not going to lie to you. As for Jason Jordan, though, he's still getting no reaction from the crowd. And I'm just going to keep saying it every week. Turn him heel. I said it on Twitter again tonight. They need to turn him heel. And Jason Jordan is not going to work as a face if they don't do anything with him. You know what I mean? Like, they need to turn him heel. He's clearly not working as a face. It is interesting to note, though, he has been versing face wrestlers in the past weeks. He did take on Finn Balor. He took on John Cena tonight, so maybe they're hinting at something. I thought tonight was a perfect opportunity to turn him heel, but they didn't go with it. I thought maybe how Cena would shake his hand at the end of the match. Maybe then he can attack him there, or Cena was up on the top rope. You know what I mean? Maybe you hurt him from there, but no, they didn't have him do anything tonight. But hey, he was good in the ring. Though. I'll give him that. Jason Jordan was good in the ring tonight. Him and Cena put on a good match to open the show. A little bit long, but good. So then after the match, Cena picks up the win, obviously. They weren't going to have Jordan win over Cena yet. I could see that sometime down the road. But Roman Reigns comes out, and then, we kind of get a part two of what happened last week in their promo. Obviously, this week's promo was nothing compared to the one they had last week. It was okay, but still, still some good lines. It's like they just destroy each other. Even Roman got a few things in tonight that, were pretty good. But, I don't know. I guess I'll give this one to Cena again, too. But I don't know. They're really building up this match. I'm looking forward to Cena versus Roman. Their promos, they turn into shoots right away. It's great. But they open up the show like that. So we get a match, Roman-Cena promo. So I'm like, all right. Raw's solid so far, Then we get Cesaro and Sheamus versus Heath Slater and Rhino. Didn't give a shit about that. Why do we have to have it? Sheamus and Cesaro pick up the win. Then the Intercontinental title match. Jeff Hardy and The Miz. Jeff Hardy won the Battle Royal last week, so he got the match this week. The match was okay. I'll give him that. The match was okay, but The Miz picks up the win. Little help from Maurice. The Miz, Taraj, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, they got tossed from ringside. Matt Hardy got tossed. But Maurice helped The Miz basically in the end, and then, yeah. So I don't know if this is going to put Jeff Hardy in line for a rematch sometime down the road, maybe at No Mercy, or what's going to happen. I didn't expect Jeff Hardy to win tonight, but I thought maybe it was possible. I was in the back of my head, but I don't know. I just didn't see it. The way Raw was kind of like it just didn't have that feel. You know what I mean? Sometimes it has that feel like it will happen. It didn't have that feel. They've really, they like the Intercontinental title on The Miz. So we'll see where that goes. We'll see if they kind of like maybe continue that feud or whatever, where it's just like a one-time thing and they go nowhere with it. So that match was okay. You know what I mean? That gave a little hope to the show. But then it went right back down the toilet with the cruiserweights. Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, Noam Dar taking on Enzo Amore, Cedric Alexander, and Grand Metalik. Enzo, Metalik, and Cedric pick up the win. I don't even give a shit. I have something to complain about in this match, too. This just didn't make any sense. They have Enzo Amore cut about a 5-minute promo on the stage before the match, and then as soon as he's finished the promo and the match is about to start and they get in the ring, they cut to commercial break. Why? Like you're taking away from the wrestling right there. I just don't get that. And there was another moment in the show where they'd also kind of just a bad commercial break. It was right after the beginning of the show. Cena and Jordan had just finished a match. Roman was on his way out. And then they cut to commercial break right in like the middle of Roman's entrance, and it was just like, I just wonder what it was like. Roman must have like walked slow as hell to the ring during that, because it must have just been weird being in the crowd there, because I don't know but that was probably because Jason Jordan and John Cena went a little over, I guess, than they expected. What else? Sasha Banks teams with Alexa Bliss to take on Emma and Nia Jax. If Emma and Nia Jax were to win, which they ended up doing, they would get into a match which would be now a Fatal 4-Way, so it would be Sasha versus Nia versus Alexa versus Emma for the Raw Women's Championship at No Mercy, which thank God we are getting this match, because I did not want to see Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss straight up. I don't know why, because, go back before SummerSlam, I was dying for this match. I really wanted this match, but just based on the fact that they took the title off Sasha and threw it back on Alexa last week on Raw, I am just so pissed. I don't even want to, I knew, if they were going to do Sasha versus Alexa straight up, I'm like, I want to see Sasha Banks win, but at the same time, I don't want to see her win, because it's like, what are they going to do? Have her win next night on Raw, main events against Alexa Bliss, and then Alexa Bliss wins the title back? Complete opposite of last year when they had Sasha and Charlotte, and the title was swapping hands just about every other week. It was just ridiculous. So I'm like, hopefully they don't do that again. But now you add Emma and Nia Jax to the equation in the match, which makes it more interesting, definitely. Honestly, for that match, who I want to win, give it to Emma. Have Emma win. I'd personally be 100% behind that at this point. I know they buried her, but why not have her win at No Mercy? We'll see what happens. I don't know. I hope she wins. I don't know. I just don't want to see, and I know I'd love to see Sasha win again. But then again, it's just I can't trust WWE now. 4 times they've done that. They put the title on Sasha and they've taken it off her real quick. So I don't trust WWE one bit with that. What else? Another tag team match: Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Why should I care about this? It's just tag team match. This is why I said this show was so bland and just boring. Another episode of Raw. There was nothing memorable that happened on this show. I'm not going to remember this episode of Raw. And I get it. Not every episode is going to be a memorable episode of Raw where we're going to look back and be like, yeah. You know what I mean? There's going to be shitty episodes. There's going to be episodes better than others. But this one just felt just so boring. There was nothing. There wasn't even one thing that I could pull from this show where it's just you know what I mean? As the key point, the highlight of the show. There wasn't anything tonight. It was just boring. But Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Rollins and Ambrose pick up the win. Then Sheamus and Cesaro there, they get into a brawl, and I don't know I think they announced, I could be wrong, but Sheamus and Cesaro are getting a rematch for the tag titles at No Mercy in a few weeks. So I think they announced. I'm not 100% sure. Big Show versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage. The match everybody was supposed to be hype about, because in WWE's mind, I think, they would think, oh, let's say have a steel cage match. Everybody's going to immediately be hype. And I think that's the thing. That's the part where I think WWE wanted us to pull from the show as a memorable part of the show, the steel cage match. But for me, didn't really do it. And I think that's the case for a lot of people who watched Raw. Big Show versus Braun Strowman, they put on a pretty good match. I think Big Show and Braun Strowman have good chemistry in the ring. That's no secret. We've seen them put on multiple matches in the past this year, where the ring came down that one match, and then they just had a good main event one time on Raw. It's hard to believe Big Show's been in 3 or 4 main events of Monday Night Raw in 2017. That's just unbelievable to me. The Big Show's still main eventing Raw on multiple occasions in 2017. But every time he's been in the main event, he's actually been pretty good. But he definitely, him and Strowman have a good chemistry in the ring, and that definitely showed tonight. Strowman was great. Show was pretty good as usual. But the ring wasn't coming down. I thought there was no way the ring's going to come down, because if the ring comes down, the cage is going to come down, and the cage is going to fall into the crowd that's going to hit everyone in the front row. So the ring ain't coming down tonight, and then they double reinforced the ring so it wouldn't come down. They even did like the suplex spot, and the ring didn't come down. So, of course, like I said in the beginning of this, I knew what was going to happen. The cage is obviously going to break. Strowman and most likely, that didn't even make any sense. Strowman would most likely put Big Show through the cage. That's what would obviously happen. And that was the case. I just didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't come as a surprise. They didn't maybe change it up a bit to where it would be a surprise. Predictable as day. Nothing out of the ordinary. I saw it coming. We all saw it coming. You know what I mean? It was cool, but why should you know what I mean? Like I've seen this 1,000 times before. You know what I mean? It's just nothing to it. But that's it. That's Raw right there for you. I can't believe that's it. Like it just didn't feel like anything happened. I mean, this review here is only going to end up being like about not even 15 minutes long. I usually go about 20, 25 minutes with my Raw reviews. But there's just nothing to talk about. Like, there's just nothing to talk about. There's not that one thing. Usually there's at least that one thing I could pull from the show where I could kind of go in depth on and just break down really. But it was just a bunch of just nonsense. It felt like I was watching like just an episode of just like WWE Superstars or whatever. Like that just where just match after match. There wasn't anything happening. So that's what it felt like tonight. I just didn't care for it at all. I mean, as for a rating for the show out of 10, I'm going to give Raw 3.5 out of 10. I really couldn't. I don't know if it was me. I don't think it was me. It could just be me though. Like I've said, it could just be me. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood tonight. But I just did not care for this show, whatever. And I was kind of excited for this show. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, the steel cage match. I was like, it should be decent. You know what I mean? Like it was Miz versus Jeff Hardy. That should be pretty good. There were like reasons to like I did a video a few days ago where I'd actually want to watch the show, but I mean they didn't really knock it out of the park or anything to where it was like, it was amazing. It was just ended up being just a bland episode of Raw, nothing special, boring. Anyway, that's it, guys. I really do not know what else to talk about regarding Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, SmackDown Live is better tomorrow night because Raw I just couldn't stand it this week. It was just nothing. There's nothing to even talk about. But hopefully SmackDown's better. This might be one of the very few times where my SmackDown review might end up being longer than my Raw review because Raw was dead tonight. Raw was dead in full force tonight. But anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know if you somehow thought this episode of Monday Night Raw was actually good in the comment section below. I don't know how you did, but if you did, let me know below. Maybe it is me. Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll have a completely different opinion about Raw. It is possible. But we'll see. As for now, this show just bored me to death. But let me know what you think of Raw in the comment section below. Go follow me all over social media. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Twitter, I have my personal Twitter and the Glorious Podcast Twitter will both be listed in the description below as always. So go follow me all over there. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow right here on the Glorious Podcast after SmackDown with my SmackDown Live review. The match